After creating the network and running the simulation, we need to evaluate our network to see what happened during the simulation. vSIM provides a lot of evaluation measurements and we choose what we need in our network and use them. The measurements we need for our project now is delay in our network and cycle length. For this, we are going to use some tools in the software. I divided delay to overall delay and delay by movement. And for overall delay, I'm going to show you how to use vehicle network performance. For delay by movement, for example, for eastbound left or other movements, I'm going to show you vehicle travel time method. And for green time and cycle length distribution, we are going to use green time distribution in the software. The software doesn't show us directly the cycle length, and we are going to use green time distribution to calculate the cycle length. But there is something we have to account for, and that is skipped phases. We should figure it out and use them to calculate the exact cycle length. Now that our network is complete and ready for simulation, and we know that what kind of evaluation measures we want to see and which tools we are going to use in the software, we are going to start to set the tools. Before going to evaluation tools, I'm going to set something in the simulation parameters. I go to simulation menu, open parameters, window. On the top, we have period time and start time. The period, most of the time we are simulating the network for 1 hour. But as you may notice before, when simulation starts, there is no car in the network and it doesn't look like the real world. We want our simulation to be as much as possible near to the real world. For that, I am going to set 5 minutes time to run the network before start the evaluation. We call it warm-up time. It means that we let the network to warm up and be ready and looks like the real world to being evaluated. And I'm going to put the period 3900 because we have 5 minutes warm up and 1 hour simulation. The whole time of simulation will be 3900 seconds. I click on OK. The first tool I'm going to use is vehicle network performance. I choose evaluation menu, open the configuration window. In the configuration window, we have 3 tabs. Now we are going to be at the middle tab, result attributes. Here we have vehicle classes, pedestrian classes. If we want to evaluate our network only for a specific kind of class, we choose them. For example, we select them, or we are going to have them all. Here at the bottom, we have the tools. Now I'm going to choose vehicle network performance. I select it. On the next 2 columns, we are going to set the time. We set our simulation evaluation will start after 5 minutes. It will be 300 seconds. These 2 columns will be in seconds, and end of evaluation will be at 3900. we are now set. I click on OK. I run the simulation. For seeing the result, I click evaluation menu, go to result list. I open the network performance results window. You can see there is no result now because the time hasn't still reached the 300 seconds. It will be evaluated between 300 and 3900. The first column is the measure that we are going to consider it. There is an option here I'm going to tell you which name is quick mode. When I run the simulation and I want the simulation go faster, I click on quick mode, and if you see the time, it will go faster. Now after 300, we have the measures shown in front of us. I'm going to stop the simulation to go for other measures. The next measure is delay by movement. For delay by movement, at first we have to create vehicle travel times in the network. For creating that, I select vehicle travel time in network object, right click on the origin link at the near to the start of the origin link, and right click at the end of the destination link. It will create a vehicle travel time and the window will open. I'm going to put a name for it. It is northbound right. Here we have position at the origin link, position at the destination link, and the distance between these 2 points, which travel time will be measured. Click on OK. I have 12 movements in my network. I have to create 12 different vehicle travel times. After creating 12 vehicle travel times in the network, we have to define it for the software to measure the travel times and calculate the delays. For that, I go to evaluation menu, measurement definition, open the delay measurements window. At the bottom, I click on add or green plus, and I have 12 vehicle travel time measurements. Again, I'm going to put the name for them. I choose the vehicle travel time, northbound right, northbound true. Do the same till the end. Now all of the 12 vehicle travel time measurements are defined. I'm going to select the appropriate tools in the configuration window in the evaluation menu. Again, in result attribute tabs, here we have delays. I click on it, I set time for that. And at the end, we have vehicle travel times. I click on OK. Now I can run the simulation. For seeing the results from evaluation menu, result list, I open the delay results. It hasn't reached the 300 seconds. Now we have vehicle delay for each movement. The other measure is vehicle travel time results. Again, in evaluation menu, results list, I choose vehicle travel time results. Here we have travel time for each movement. This is in seconds. Now I stop the simulation. The last thing we are going to calculate and know is cycle length. As I explained before, we are going to use green distribution time tool to calculate the cycle time. For that, I choose evaluation menu, open the configuration window. Now I am going to go to direct output tab. Here we have green time distribution. I check it, set the time. When we select the green time distribution, software will produce a .lzv file after finishing the simulation. So we run the simulation, and after that we will see that .lzv file, which is a text file, and see what's in it. I run the simulation. I don't want to watch it, so I click on quick mode. It will go fast and finish soon. After finishing the simulation, we are going to go to the folder that our vsim file is saved. Here in the folder, we can see there is a .lzv file. We can open it with each kind of text editor software. This is the file and the result of the simulation. The first section, we have the signal control and average green times for each signal group, 1 to 8 in our case. Next, we have two big tables. The first table is for distribution of times for each signal group for green time, and the second table is the same only for red time. Here, the first column is the time in seconds, and other columns are signal groups. For example, here we had 15 times 10 seconds duration for green time for signal group 1. At the end of the file, we have a summary of distributions of green and red for each signal group. Signal group 1, green time, the average, and the number that happens during the simulation. And again, the same for red and for other signal groups. The most important thing that we should consider is that some signal groups may have skipped green time during the simulation. Here in this report, it doesn't show us, so we can import these results into Excel and calculate the number of cycles and the skipped green times. After that, we can calculate the distribution of cycle length.